Dr. Linda Park here. I talk a lot about nasal breathing and the harmful effects of mouth breathing, but how do you nasal breathe 24/7? That's important. So 24/7 means when you're awake, but also when you're sleeping, because the nose is for breathing and the mouth is for eating, period. So when we're sleeping, we're supposed to be breathing through our nose. And I talk to people about this all day long, and they tell me, well, when I fall asleep, my mouth is closed, so I'm breathing through my nose. But then when I ask, well, do you wake up with a dry mouth, or do you plain old wake up in the middle of the night? And some people say yes, or we see the evidence of that in their mouth. They have inflamed gums, they have plaque on their teeth that they can't get off, they don't sleep well at night. Well, I have to get up and use the bathroom. So when you fall asleep and your mouth is closed, after you're sleeping, all bets are off and your mouth may drop open. Well, what happens when your mouth drops open? Your tongue falls in the back of your throat, and then you're breathing through your mouth. And instead of breathing through a garden hose, which is what it's like when your mouth is closed and you're breathing through your nose, you're breathing through a coffee straw because your tongue obstructs the airway. So not only are you not nasal breathing, and we've talked about that, but you're also breathing less of anything. And that's where the pathology starts. So how do we prevent that? How do we allow nasal breathing at night? Well, I've recommended taping your mouth closed when you sleep. And I know that sounds crazy, but I'm going to demonstrate how we do that. So there are a few methods, and they were developed by the Buteyko Clinic. They talk a lot about nasal breathing and the importance. You could Google that. They have a lot of videos on YouTube, the Oxygen Advantage, and they give a lot of information about the benefits and how to do it. They also train elite athletes in nasal breathing. So anyways, on to how to mouth tape. There's two different methods that you can use. If you Google it, there's a lot of companies that make mouth tape now. I recommend simply just gentle paper tape. And the way I do it myself is to cut off a piece of tape like this, and I tape this way. Easily removed when you're done sleeping. Some people actually take the tape off in the middle of the night. I'm one of those people. Sometimes, for whatever reason, I take the tape off and I may wrap it around my finger or who knows what. So if you try it and you find, oh, the tape didn't stay on, you probably took it off. I do it all the time, like I said. So you just have to keep trying. Another method of taping is this way. So you can tape like that. And as you can see, it comes on and off really easily. That's why it's called gentle paper tape. So this is a really good option. It's not very expensive. You can buy it in the Band-Aid section of any store or a pharmacy. A second option is something called myotape. And it is basically kinesiology tape. And what you do, it's a little bit stretchy, like this. And you do this. So that actually holds your mouth closed. But if somebody's nervous about taping, I will recommend this type of tape because you can still open your mouth when you're using it. So, but when you're sleeping, it'll actually help keep your mouth closed. So they make this for adults and kids. You can also just buy plain old kinesiology tape and put the hole in it yourself. These are just sleep aids that make a difference for people at night. And people will ask me, well, after I've taped for a while and I've gotten used to it, should I, can I keep the tape off? Well, you can try it, but like I said, once you fall asleep, all bets are off. And the guy that kind of developed this technique and really talked to the world about it still tapes his mouth closed. I do as well, because if I don't, my husband tells me I snore. I have one more caveat I want to add about taping your mouth closed when you sleep. So there are some people that can't breathe through their nose, and I hear this all the time. So first thing I would say is if you don't use it, you lose it. But the second thing I would say is that you could do a trial run during the day and just make sure that you can breathe through your nose for 3 minutes before you attempt mouth taping. If you can't, there are some solutions that you can try, and I have these in my office. You can find them on Amazon. But it's actually to use a nasal dilator. So it's something like this, and you actually take it, put it up in your nose, and it dilates the nose and opens up the nasal passages, because some people do have restrictions up here in your nose. So that can be helpful too. You can use it during exercise. You can also use it just when you're sleeping. So I have a lot of patients that use these as well. Like I said, I sell some at my office. You can find them online. There's a company called Mute, M-U-T-E, and they have a little more streamlined version that are really good for athletes as well, but it does provide a nasal dilation to make it easier to breathe through your nose. Thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. I hope you found it helpful and informative. If you have any questions, please feel free to enter them in the comments section below, and we'd love to reach out to you.